Alright, this video is going to be a little different. I know it's been a good while since I done commentary last time, but I figured I do a video about behind the scenes with my first manga dub. Heck, I might even do one as well for the next one, for the second manga dub or comic dub, whichever one you want to call it. And I just figured before we get into uh, me going to the whole explanation of things, let's let's actually look at the first manga dub.
These two have been fighting for so long. Before their damned births, things have been set in motion. Rampant desires of darkness influence even the once knightly. What shall they be regarded as? Brothers? Father and son? Kindred spirits? I think I shall name them the Proditor and Damon Knight. Alas, it comes to an end. A supposed end. Don't worry, traitorous knight. You'll have another chance.
All right, so my first manga dub, comic dub, whichever. I This comic has been going on. Well, the first 9 pages were made like back in I want to say around Christmas, around New Year's time of 2023, I believe. I think so. I think around that time, 2023. And that's not, I mean, you only saw a couple of the pages there, but the other pages that will complete the 9 pages total, that's in the second video, but we'll get to that whenever. So when I came up with manga manga comic dub, originally I wasn't even aiming for it to be a dub in the first place. When I work with Nefarious Watcher, or Neff for short, that's my dude. I just wanted to try. I just wanted to try making a comic, and just to give you guys a little bit of context there of why I wanted to, when I first began writing my novel, which is on Amazon. I'm pretty sure I'll put the link down below in the description. I was accepted by the independent comics guys, and not to confuse it with like Comicsgate or anything. I mean, just your just your guys within the sphere, not affiliated with anything other than that they're just indie creators. And I also want to say that, I wasn't saying like, I'm not trying to say like the author, indie authors were rejecting me or not like that. No, it wasn't like that at all. But a majority of the guys who followed me and I followed back were, again, comic creators. And so while I was doing my writing my novel, my first novel, back in like during 2020 all the way up to like 2024. Yes, it took 4 years, but that's a video for another time. Within those 4 years, interacting with those guys and seeing what they produce and seeing how I'm seeing how successful they are, and I don't mean like monetary wise, but I mean like they're able to get things done. They're able to actually ship comics out. They're actually able to, pay their people on time. That's what I mean by successful, by the way. Um, just being around that element, being around that culture for years, and it grew on me. It grew on me. Uh, so I had this idea where I wanted to take these characters of mine and put them into a comic, which they're separate from my novel, because I treat my novel and my comic um, as just separate, separate entities. They're not connected whatsoever. I don't really like that whole uh, multi, multi-dimensional or multiverse, whatever. I don't like that. I think it's been done way too often within the last decade. Um, and so where I got this from with the Prodder and Damon Knight. Oh, and maybe this would help actually. Oops. Maybe not. Let's not focus on that right there. But I go a little bit like this right here with the Prodder on the left and the Damon Knight on the right. They existed before I started going this comic route, and what I would do, what majority of the time back then was, I would commission artists to just like bring my bring my character ideas to life. And how Prouder and Damon I first began, they began as helmets, and I don't know why, but I drew. Oh man, I forgot to put that within the origins of what I'm going to show you later on. Soon enough, I forgot to put that in there, but I had drawn two helmets. One was more like inspired by kind of like Star Wars, with the Mandalorians and stuff. But I didn't want to, go with Mandalorian route. I just liked the design of the helmets. But I was like, okay, what if I, what? It's like I never seen a helmet before. Like kind of like had like a mandible plating to it. Like you got the helmet itself, but it you don't. I don't really see helms that have that feature where they protect the jaw. It's usually just all in one instead of just being separate. So I thought that was pretty nice. And I was like, okay, maybe you know what's under what's being contained within that mandible piece of the helm. And so I just started thinking, and I was like, okay, while I'm thinking about it, I'm drawing. I'm drawing as best as I can. I'm not a great artist, but I'm writing the notes too with it, and I'm just like, okay, this guy has like tendrils for mouth, and these tendrils have teeth on them, and he doesn't have a jaw. He doesn't have a jaw, but he has these tendrils that are just coming in. So I was like, oh, that's crazy how, I'm just drawing it out, drawing the tendrils coming out of the helm, and so, or I should say the mandible tendrils. I mean, coming out of the helm, and I was like, okay, this is actually pretty good. So I went to uh Clue Wolf, which she if I'm gonna try my best to remember to put her link down below, her profile down below in the description. But with Clue Wolf, and also I've got to say she works on adult content, as in like drawing NSOW. So just put that in there. But she I took it to her and gave her like the my art basically, and just told her about it a little bit, and had an agreement, paid for it, and uh lo and behold, she gave me this this bust of the Damonite. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, man. And you guys can see this within on my profile. Like, I'm pretty sure you'll see it on my check. It's out. This literally on my Kickstarter, um, which got like 9 days ago, I think, maybe 8. And just putting out, just like, man, that looks so intense. That's so cool looking and everything. And it looked just threatening. And so when I came back to her for the Predator, uh, I was just, gave her the information, showed her the art that I made. And what she did was that she basically, she just made like it was her first, she don't, it's not, I wouldn't say her first time, but she doesn't do like armor. That's not her thing mainly, but I beg to differ because she does a pretty fantastic job with armor from what I've seen. And when there was two versions for the Prouder, one was like, like the darkness, like you can barely see him, and then like it lights up, you could see him, and he has like these multiple red eyes within the helm. And when I was coming up with the helmet design, I was inspired by Berserk. Of course, I was inspired by the Berserk armor as well for Guts. And I was like, okay, I want to try something like that. And so, coming up with this stuff, I'm very proud of. Very proud of. I'm happy that I'm actually worked with uh, creative individuals who were able to actually grasp it better than I. And you know, it just coming a long way from that. Again, this is I'm giving you like the precursor origin story of Damonite and Prouder here, where they were just it was before the comic. And so I would say like maybe I think 2 years later, if not maybe a year later, I came across Neff, and I came across him because of he was like doing freebie art, and I was just like, well, why not? I'll give it a try. So uh, he did some art for me that and just I liked it so much that I decided to work with him, well, commission him a bit more. And having those commissions, I was like, okay, well, actually, I want to see if I can work with this guy, because he was also doing artwork for some other comic creators that I knew within the indie sphere. And so popped in a question on Discord, or was it Twitter? It had to be Twitter, and or I don't know. Either way, I popped in a question, and he was like, "Yeah, let's try to see what you got." And I sent him the script that I had, and at the time it was only it was only 9 pages, but it was a start. And we signed this contract, and here here we are now, kind of, because um kind of jumping back to the present now is with those 9 pages that we did, that we worked on, I tried putting on like Gumroad. No, I did put it on Gumroad, and I was gonna go like the webtoon, webtoon, sorry, webcomic, the webcomic route. I wasn't gonna do webtoon. I'm not sure about that. I don't think I ever would put it myself on webtoon. But going and trying to do the webcomic route, I had some people look at it and look to it. I try my best to market it, and I think I was moving way too fast. I think I was moving way too fast, and I learned from that because after I, it wasn't. I don't think I had it for a month. I just felt. I just felt like I was becoming like an e-beggar. Even it wasn't like I was hounding people down like, hey, please support my stuff and all that. But it was more like I didn't like the way I was approaching things and how I was conducting it. And so I took a step back, and I made the decision like to just stop stop with that part, because I didn't really have an audience. And I will say my audience has grown considerably within the past month or two. Uh, but I don't think I'm at a sizable chunk yet. And if this sounds like me being like greedy or something, or selfish, I mean, um, I, that's not my intention at all. what I'm trying to do is at least try try to build more of an audience, because that's important within the indie spheres. If y'all are experienced with that stuff of being a customer or being a creative or both. And so this is my approach of doing things, of like, okay, scaling back, looking at my mistakes, still making some more along the way, but I'm learning from the previous mistakes I'm getting, and I'm making new ones, and I'm just like, okay, how can I do this? How can I do that? So, so after the whole, um, I would say failed, but after the first attempt with the web comic, I was like, I only have 9 pages to show. I had it scheduled out and everything. I had plans for it, and I, I was like, okay, I literally have a base for a little, a first draft foundation. Well, at the time I had different drafts, but this I consider it as a whole for the Gumroad route to be the first draft base or foundation, where um, you know I can take elements from that and apply it to whatever what I'm trying to do next. And okay, how can I upgrade this? How can I do better with this? And on my Kickstarter as well, I use a little bit of that. I reference a little bit of that to improve it. And of course, I want to give a lot. Not well, I shouldn't say a lot, but give a bit more to y'all. To y'all, if it becomes successfully uh, successfully funded. But so sorry, I'm kind of thirsty too. My throat's a little dry. So, oh gosh, I'm sorry. So with that whole experience of learning that, and going back to the drawing board and going back to Nev saying, "Hey, I actually let's actually try doing this," and I'm sorry, I'm gonna correct my little. It wasn't 2023. It had to be 2022. It had to be 2022 where I did that. Then like 2024 or February 2024, that's when I came back to him and said, "Hey, actually, I want to give this comic a try again, or this manga a try. I should just say a Western manga." And just want to give this a try. I want to revitalize this. I don't want just 9 pages, because 9 pages. I mean, who wants to read just 9 pages unless it's like a real mini comic or manga? And it's just like, I'm not trying to do that. So I wrote up a script properly, and added uh, more. What am I at, like 27 pages at least? And that's including the first 9. So I created additional pages, and had the first draft, had the second draft, and had a final draft, and was going back and forth with him, not like arguing, but like, hey, what do you think works best? Does this work best, or does this, or it doesn't? Give me your thoughts here. And I wanted that interaction with Neff too, because I value him. Like, hey man, look, this is something. This is a teamwork here. I'm at the end of the day, I make the final decision, but I at least want input before I can make it better for y'all, the audience. And and so with that, going on from February to like September, October maybe. It took us um it took us that those several months to actually finish the first chapter of Nightfall Eldritch. And I mean, I didn't think I would be able to do it, but scheduling out things, planning things out, like how the payment goes and all that. That's really been a lesson right there. And I'm glad for it. I'm glad that I was able to actually accomplish that with Neff and a few others as well. And again, going on to social media and just teasing the little pages and everything. I I had an idea, and now I had it to the point where I also put it did a test copy, a test print. And once I got the test print, I was like, this is cool. This is great, actually. Having something like that finally in my hands. But I had to, of course, made some mistakes where it's like, okay, I didn't want dimensions to be like this. Didn't really set a standard dimension size and all. So went back to the drawing board with that. A little bit, a little tedious editing on Nev's part, but hey, he was able to get it down and make sure that okay, these are the dimensions that we actually want from now on. So, uh, also looked at online resources like Star or Starfish Face, I should say, if y'all are smitten with who that is, and she's been working on web comics for over a decade. And so, watching videos, again, buying manuals and books about stuff like that, and at least trying to sharpen my knowledge and trying to level up my from experience and all. And I'm just overall trying to apply what I've learned to make things better, smoother, faster. I mean, and so going going from the comic, the first chapter is complete, and of course we also have like some extra pages, like one shots, just to put for have additional little stories. And didn't had that ready, and just of course start uh, going to the next phase of the plan, which was getting stuff for Kickstarter, getting things aligned with Kickstarter. And excuse me for a bit, y'all. Maybe I should just have this play for a bit in the background. And I'm not sure if that audio was on. Excuse me for a second, y'all. Let me let me do something. Oh man, so sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so getting back onto that, uh, I again was going into talks with not only Neff but also some individuals who were familiar with Nicefall. I'm sorry, with Kickstarter and crowdfunding overall, and just was like, okay, making a list, using what I think could be right, what I think what will work and what won't work, and just looking at other people of at the time other campaigns that were funded within a specific time, and ones that were active, and just comparing and contrasting them, what I could pick up from them, and trying to apply what I saw, and to have it be onto my own stuff. And once the time came to set up the Kickstarter and make sure that things are working as best as they can, you know, I went ahead with it, of course, and that's how we got into. Uh, that's what started, got Kickstarter launching on January. What 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 was it? January 4th, I believe, or was it January 6th? Can't remember. And so sometime in January. And so, I'm doing my best to like raise awareness about that. And I mean, so much going on. And I know I meant to say like, this is behind the scenes for my first manga dub, and I guess this coincides with the manga dub because the Kickstarter and all. Again, trying to raise awareness about it. uh, I also managed to like go back in my old collection of like of when we first began work on it, and I managed to. I'm great. I'm glad I was able to actually have some photos or screenshots, I should say, with the process. And so this is what I'm gonna do actually. So I'm gonna hit stop sharing on this, and go to this thing right here. Uh, I'm not sure if it's showing. Okay, it's showing. So I'm sorry if it's really ultra bright for y'all. It's bright for me. So here's the little first, rough drafts of like, okay, you got the Daenerys, but you got Prater and Damon I facing off, and Neff does this where he's paneling, just sketching things out, make sure that things are going to flow within each panel of every page. Of course, I got to blur out some things. I had to blur out the obvious, and just watch how things flow, and just you could tell, this is obviously the first page, the first few panels where Prada and Damon and I are just fighting each other with their supernaturalness. so oh, so of course then we're at the part where he's adding words like from the area from saying like kindred spirits. You got Prada and Damonite backing off after basically stabbing each other with their swords, and they're going right back. They're charging right back at each other. And of course, you got Gehenna saying, "I think I shall name them." And of course, again, these are the pictures I was able to actually save from long ago. And you got Damon Knight's sword. Damon Knight's a dirty fighter, and so Damon Knight just uses his sword to like rip the mask off of the helmet off of Predator. And you see this right here. What's happening right here, as if people are like a little confused about this, is that uh, these are part of this Damon Knight suit, where the suit is like it's living. It's like a living organism almost, and it's designed to like keep the Damon Knight uh, in a stable condition, to keep him together. Let's just say, and this suit can also like produce like the what can I say, like basically these tentacles that just can panel up through people or do whatever. It's a crazy idea I had with his suit, and so it goes through the Prowler's skull basically. And as you see with this other panel right here, you got the Prowler sinking down below into the Pale Waters, which the Pale Waters is a supernatural and holy marshland where the Daemonite originates from. And so it's basically Predator fighting in Daemonite's home turf, and you can imagine how that went for Predator. And I just thought that was a cool, you know, thing where like Predator's just standing on the water, and I mean not Predator, Damon is standing on the water, and Predator's sinking down with his chunk of metal of a sword, just fall, submerging with him. And of course, you got Gehenna saying, "Alas, it comes to an end," with Daemonite's sword going retreating back into the sleeve of his suit. Again, the suit is a living organism, and of course, I had to blur this out. But of course, you got Gehenna walking on the water, walking on the water, and she gets the helmet out of the water, and she's looking at the helmet, and she's supposed to be saying like don't worry, traitorous knight, you will have another turn or another shot at fighting Daemon Knight. And of course, this is where we get the helm, um, Prater's helm, just sinister glowing, basically. So um, I just wanted to show this too, where it's more detailed, and this is like during the process where Neff is detailed, adding the details to it, so you can see the paneling, how it is. I thought that was like really cool to kind of talk about this stuff. And with the Pale Waters, again, I can't talk more anymore about the environment, but with the Pale Waters, it's such a crazy place to be in. It's like you got literally like eyeballs in the water. There's supposed to be like eyes in the sky too. The trees have eyes as well. Like this is not a place you should be in. Like this place shouldn't exist. And I love how like the denizens of the Pale Waters are just giving or just staying away from the Prodder and Daemonites clashing, because they know that these two are they're even more oddities than them. And it's basically like a uh, fear out of respect or something like that, basically. Hopefully I get to venture more into that environment, because I love, when I was thinking of like making the Pale Waters, I thought of Evil Dead. I mean, I am kind of inspired by Evil Dead when it comes to Nightfall Eldritch, and you guys should definitely be seeing that a little bit. So again, that's why I wanted to show it with that. Um, I wish I had the other stuff, but I totally forgot, and that's all right. Now, before I end this video, I just want to go back to the manga dub or comic dub, whichever, and with the credits. I'll say with Gehenna, with can't pronounce her name. I'm so sorry too if you're watching this, Miss Elmar. And this Miss Elmar is awesome. I just I just had the idea of just suddenly just making a manga a comic dub, because I was like, look, maybe this can actually help me with my Kickstarter, and if not, that's fine. I'll still continue on making it, because um there's a lot of interest with comic dubs and manga dubs. Let's be honest. And I see an opportunity. I'm like, okay, I think people will actually like this too, um, and thankfully y'all have. So starting off with this, with the voice actor, I mean actress, I mean sorry, the voice actress, I went over to Fiverr. I was looking through um, different talents and stuff, and I was like, oh, I think I'm listening to the reels or demos, and I was like, okay, I actually like what Miss Almar can do. So I, gave her a message. She gave me a sample um, of like what Gehenna is saying within the comic, and I was like, you know what, I think you'd be perfect for the role. Now, when it came to the editor with Solia Sora, or I like to call her Sora for short, uh, she does a phenomenal job with the editing, in my opinion. And I mean, it's always enjoyable to work with her. Same thing with Miss Elmar as well. So, and Neff. So working with these talented individuals has been a dream come true for me. And of course, I cannot forget about uh, Empty My Lungs. Funny thing is, it's funny how things kind of fall into place. Is when I was in the beginning stages of doing this, making this dub. Well, finding people to make the dub. Um, I was on Hail the Lore's Discord, and of course, there's a lot of indie creators and customers, well, not customers, but enjoyers of the indie sphere. And this band, Empty My Lungs, put out this new album, and it's for YouTube, and obviously it's not it's I can use their music, obviously. And so I just asked the guy, uh, I think he's one of the main singers. I asked the guy, and I think it's AC Pitchford. I gotta remember, but anyway, I asked him, "Hey, can I use can I use this song for my comic dub?" It's like, "Yeah, sure, man. Just make sure not to use any of the other albums because the copyright will get you. But this one, this album, which is Necrotic, I believe, is it's fine. You can do, people are allowed to use it." So I'm like, "Okay, cool, thanks, man." So, went over to Sora, said, "Hey, I got the audio from Miss Elmore. The I got the music I selected from Empty My Lungs. Let's do this. The only thing I ask is just make it good. I want to see how you do it." And so she went right to work with it. It was a speedy delivery, and what you guys see now is what I got, and I gotta say, like I'm so blessed to work with these individuals. Honestly, I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I actually get to show this to you guys as well. I'm glad that you guys are very receptive about this stuff too. And man, it's almost it's 37 minutes long video right now, but thank you guys so much for uh, again, just being receptive, giving me feedback, letting me know that you actually are interested in this stuff, and you guys do want to see more. And I do plan on doing more. And of course, I do plan on making another behind the scenes video for the for my second comic or manga dub. And if there's anything I missed, I'll try my best to like put it in description. But I don't think I did. Again, you guys will find the Kickstarter link down below in the description. You also find Nefarious Watcher's profile link, my profile link as well for Twitter or X, I should say, and also my first novel. Um, Thank y'all for watching this, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.